All right. Haven't been talking about politics in my on my channel for a while, so I feel like since everybody's giving their talking points on the election that just happened, I'm gonna give mine. Okay, and like I said, this has nothing to do with regardless if you're a Democrat, Republican, or Independent Party, Libertarian, doesn't vote at all, doesn't believe in the election or anything. I just want to say my personal experience and my thoughts on this on the matter here. So, so Donald Trump, now it's President Trump. Not only he was the 45th president, now he's the 47th president elect, right? And he had now, according to the map, they said 292 electoral votes. Kamala Harris had 226, and you need at least 270 to win. So I was watching this like for a lot of people, a lot of Americans and people in general all over the world. I was just refreshing my phone. I was trying to just figure out like, okay, is he going to win? What type of state he's going to win? We looking for these votes coming in because 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, like 4 hours, a 4 hour difference in the West Coast. So when Donald Trump was actually up for a large portion of this election, and I'm looking like, oh my goodness, like he's up significantly, man. And it was to the point I was like, okay, I don't know. But then again, this is before she was able to close in with California. And California had 54 electoral votes, and I was like, okay, so this is late hundreds, like 190 something, maybe 180 something. I was like, okay, this is a little bit more manageable. Okay, but then again, when he won Pennsylvania, I'm like, oh, Trump won Pennsylvania, then he won Indiana, Wisconsin. They might not have the most electoral votes, but they have at least, like, they are the swing states, because Michigan, even though they have a Democratic governor, Gretchen Whitmer, but in the past too they have Republicans, so they flip flop. And I know because I'm from Michigan, so I know like in the Detroit metro area, it's a lot of Democrats there, it's a lot of liberal views. But if you go, because Michigan is a big state, so if you go like further up and maybe a little bit west, it's more Republican and conservative approaches. So it can flip flop. Georgia was actually in the mix too, and the state of Georgia is actually significant too because Georgia has 16 electoral votes, and this is one of the reasons why Donald Trump was actually campaigning very hard on this. He was in Michigan and Grand Rapids like a couple days ago, just campaigning till like 3 o'clock in the morning, man. I mean, because he really wanted to win that state, and that's going to decide the presidency. When Kamala Harris was unable to secure, the victory there in those states, I was like, yeah, man. I mean, yeah, California, Oregon, Washington, that may be pretty given. Nevada is like up and up, and Arizona, I was like, okay, it's not enough electoral votes and points for her to actually compete with Trump. So all in all, people, I know according to my timeline, because I grew up with the friends and family. I got a lot of friends and family are Democrats and stuff, and they helped me out, especially with my channel and life in general. I mean, I remember playing sports with them, going to school with them. I mean, really good. Even like my family members. So I have nothing but respect, and we always have this, just a good, I won't say agreement, but more of a great discussion. We don't disrespect anyone for other people's political views, but I voted for Trump, and it was just many reasons because economics, policies. I just feel like he would actually help because I know the Biden administration, they were being very severely criticized, right, on a lot of things like handling the immigration policies, legal immigrants coming in, things of that nature, the FEMA stuff that really happened, so insufficient funds. President Biden, he requested last year like $12.3 billion, from Congress, so he can help with FEMA and just in case natural disasters happen, like a hurricane that just happened this year in the past, and that's all you can give is like $750, and some families was actually having trouble to apply for that. And I'm looking like, man, if the misuse of the government funds there, I think it would be a sufficient number of 10,000, maybe $15,000 per household. I think that would be just enough to it does get a leg up, especially if you was one of those family members that lost everything. I mean, I look at too in the whole spectrum of you know just independence, like maybe we can the income tax, try to kind of get rid of that, get rid of property taxes, lower interest rates, so young millennials and Gen Z have the ability to purchase homes. Looking at to that matter. Now I understand that Kamala Harris wants to implement the $6,000 child tax credit, just for families that have newborns, and I think that'll kind of help out a little bit, but especially for those who just starting off with families, and have medical debt, things of that nature. But I just think that right now, for the moment. I'm not saying none of these candidates are not qualified, but this was definitely like a tough and hard decision. I mean, you look at Kamala Harris, man. She started off, man. I mean, yeah, she was a prosecutor, senator, vice president. I mean, very educated woman. I mean, went to Howard University. Attorney General of San Francisco. Like she did it quite a bit, man. And she was campaigning for 2 months, and was able to amass like millions. I'll say over what 67 million votes in total. Over 226 electoral votes. So, I mean, this it was a lot of weight on her shoulders. I know she had Tim Walz. Tim Walz. I feel like Tim Walz should have did a little more interviews, but I was more connecting with JD Vance. Things that he was standing for. I read his book, and it was just something like a personal choice. I mean, I know the whole abortion thing is a little bit. It's really tough. I know it's up to the states now. The thing is, the killing babies and all that. It's really, if you're Christian, things like this, you kind of like okay, and then. Just not too. If you're not too a big fan of the LGBTQT community, far as like like your taxpayers' money, I think they were saying like it might go to like transgenders like that want to will transition to a new gender in jail, like to get their surgeries and done. I'm like, it was just some things that I was like, okay, kind of a little turned off about in those aspects. But we all want the betterment. I feel like I want the betterment for everyone in the country. Like it's some things I like about the Democrats, some things I like about the Republicans. And we all collectively come together and get this forward because I've seen it countless of time. Better security of jobs, right? Security of jobs, able to own a home, buy a home, and have more money in your pocket. When Trump was getting sent into office to implement that, flat rate tax, like what Steve Rose was talking about. Hey, everybody just pay like maybe 7 or 8%. That's it. No other taxes from your income. From your check, and therefore, the middle class will actually have more money in their pockets, and they will continuously, the money will have more value. I think that Trump can actually, talk to these companies and these, got a lot of connections with them to actually eliminate the price gouging. I know Kamala Harris was trying to do that too, but that's the simple thing is why things are so high in grocery stores too. It's like a big issue, and also to unnecessary wars, like money goes towards that, illegal immigrants. So it was a lot of criticism from the Biden administration. But I have to say this was a tough election. This was a tough election. For the most part, I was definitely indecisive. Like I told you, I don't belong to no dominant party. I consider myself more independent. At the end of the day, but hey, we all gotta make a choice, and as Americans, you have the right to voice your opinion and go to the polls. At the end of the day, man. I mean, your vote does count. Your vote does count. And so, I watched Kamala's concession speech, and I believe that was really good, man. Especially inspiration to the youth, because you got millions of people watching. You got people that look up to the politicians, and there's nothing wrong with that. People who inspire to be a politician or a lawyer. I mean, she has a great success story. With all this said and done, when the time is up, man, she had a great success story when it comes to like politics and law, man. I mean, she really made it up like that. And one thing that was really profound, what I like about Kamala Harris, is that when she said like to my young people, it's the future. It's the future. You're addressing them, saying that hey, fight, 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 fight. Never ever think that it's impossible, an impossible task, right? I kind of paraphrasing, to attempt to make the world a better place, in your profession. It reminds me of that verse in Second Corinthians when it says like, whatever you do, wherever you eat or drink, you do it for the glory of God. I like that. So I think she did a really good job. It just wasn't enough, like I said, to win the presidency. Now there's gonna be another separate video what I want like President Trump to do. Okay. Now is he gonna continue? From the last 2 years, I know he had to focus. His last 2 years in presidency, he had to focus on the vid, right? So that's since that's over. You got RFK. It's gonna be head of the health department. What are we gonna do? Are we gonna like I said, lower the gas prices, lower interest rates? Are we gonna buy homes? Like I said, taxes. It's just the middle class is not in a great state right now economically in the country. So now him and JD Vance are in things that we said they're going to do. I know they're trying to take over the House and the Senate so they can get things passed on their ideas. But I know some people are kind of apprehensive because the Project 2025, and I know reproductive. He's kind of not a big fan of the women's reproductive rights. So even if they want an abortion or they have like a medical procedure that might, kill them, it's gonna be really hard for them, especially in certain states, in the southern states. And I know they're making an example that when they had to go to California or go somewhere that's like very liberal so they can have an abortion, but it's I know it can be really finicky for a lot of women though on that. So I can kind of see why they got a lot of them kind of lean towards Kamala Harris. So it's rough, man. I know the country is kind of divided, but we gotta move on. We gotta just do the best you can. We still gotta work, gotta pay bills, you gotta, but I'm just a man. Like I said, I just a man talking in the camera, just giving my 2 cents on it. And I like to have discussions with people from all over, man. Seriously, that's all it is. It's friendly. I know politics can be very dirty and ugly at times, but we're all human beings. I feel like we only here on a limited time, and we want the best. At least good people want the best for all and best for their loved ones. But that's just my thoughts on it. I think this election was it was big. I think it was, in my lifetime, big, just as big as when President Obama was running against both terms. When he's running against John McCain and Mitt Romney, Senator Mitt Romney. So, but yeah, y'all like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Tell me what y'all think about the election and everything. Did it upset you? Were you happy? How did you feel about it? That's what I really want to know. So I love you guys. Take care. I'm out.